Have you ever felt like the world around you is spinning out of control? Like no matter how hard you try, you just can't find that elusive peace everyone talks about. Picture this. You're in a tiny boat in the middle of a raging storm. The wind is howling, the waves are crashing over the sides, and everything inside you is screaming to panic. But then you see him, Jesus, calmly sleeping untouched by the chaos. How could he possibly sleep at a time like this? What does he know that we don't? Today we're going to dive deep into the secret of that peace. The kind of peace that doesn't make sense in the middle of life's storms. The kind that defies logic and turns fear into faith. Whether you're struggling with anxiety, overwhelmed by the demands of life, or simply searching for that calm in the chaos, this episode is for you. And we're not just talking about any peace, but the peace that Jesus himself promised us. A peace that's powerful enough to calm the storm, both around you and within you. So, if you're ready to discover that peace, let's go.
So we hold on and enjoy the ride. After all the ups and downs, this is our time. Enjoy the ride.
All right, we are going. We are live. We are rolling. I'm looking at the love of my life right now. The love of my life. You know, she's about 5'2", 5'5". Is that what you are? 5'5"? Okay, 5'5", and blue eyes. She's giving me big eyes right now. Big blue eyes. And what'd you say?
I was trying to say wait.
Oh, I didn't want to say wait right now because she is pregnant. She is pregnant. Oh gosh. What'd you say? Not live. It's recording live. Here, you will pull it up to you. If you are going to talk, I would pull it up just so we can hear that beautiful voice. Okay. And okay, just so there's no confusion, right now I am talking to my wife. Her name is Jessi Fogel, and she has been on the podcast one time before. You should go check it out. You can find it. It's out there, you know. It's out there. All right, I wanted to kind of say, like, today I have my security blanket on, and it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You might think, well, he's just in front of a green screen. That's why it's so see-through. No, it's actually pretty see-through in itself. It's beaten up. This has been through the ringer. It's like, look at that. I'm actually wearing a shirt underneath. If I wasn't wearing a shirt underneath, it might be heyday all for y'all. You know, it might free fall. You know, free fall y'all. What do we do? I love this. I love seeing her eyes. Really, I wanted Jessi to come down, be a part of this today. She just to be there. She is the one that gives me strength in a lot of ways. It helps me when I am not doing well. And there's a lot of times I am not doing well. So, and she helps me a lot through that, you know, and we've talked about it in the video we had, as well as anyone that has interaction with us in real life. You all do see that you kind of know our vibe. You know how we roll. We just roll with the dough. We roll with the dough. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I've lost all connection with reality. I am just a floating, dismembered, body member. I don't know, honey. I don't know things. This is why I brought her down. She had to be here, you know. And I know you all can't see her right now. We don't have a camera on. This was like kind of like on the fly, seat of our pants, figuring it out as we go. Yeah, I've been struggling. If you caught my video last week, you know I've been struggling. And if you caught the week before, you saw something building up. You saw things happening, a lot of things happening that, and I'm trying to overcome. We are overcomers. If you're a Christian, you are an overcomer. You know, what has overcome this world? Even our faith. Our faith overcomes this world. I mean, I could talk about just our faith in general and getting through life, but like in the context of marriage as well, you know, a lot of times it might sound bad saying this, but like marriage is tough. You know, we go through our ups and downs, struggles together, you know, and I mean, the glue that keeps my wife and I together, that keeps us together is Jesus. You know, he is the one. I mean, this might be TMI, but I mean, I've heard people talk about this that are Christians, you know, like if it weren't for Jesus, you know, and I don't know. What do you think anything about that, Jessi? What I'm saying, like, in the context of just me and you know, I know. Oh, 1 second. Hello? Hey Zach, what's going on?
I'm not much. How you doing? I want to come over.
Yeah, we were gonna come over there.
Okay, yeah, and I just want to let you know that the street all cleaned up now. They don't have any block.
Oh, cool, awesome. I think Mom said that like they got like a one lane you can go through now.
No, it's all fixed up now. And everything. You don't have to get something with you.
Oh, awesome. That's great. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks, Zach. We'll be heading over there in just a bit.
All right.
All right. Bye, Zach. Yeah, like I don't know, Jesse. I'm all over the map right now, and I don't know. Can you bring some sanity to my life, Jesse? Can you? You got any? You usually you help me through the storm. You know, you help me through.
Or I make it worse.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Here, I pull it to before I told you. Pull it toward. No. Pull. Oh, it is not. You can pull it towards you. Oh man, yeah. I think lately it's been tough. It's been. What do you think? I mean, you probably it's probably no different to you. You're probably just used to, you know. What do you think? In me in general, you know, like anything different, or am I just quirky and crazy as ever?
Overall, compared to what you used to be, you're about like 100 times better.
Why do you say that?
You used to be really bad.
Bad?
Yeah.
Like what? Okay. Why do you say bad?
You're just really depressed and anxious all the time. Now it's just an occasional flare up that's not near as bad as it used to be.
But how do you not have that? Like, do you ever have that? Like, I think, is it just like the way that you're kind of wired and made up that you do not struggle like the things that I have?
Yeah, just
Genetics?
I guess. I mean, I struggle with other things, but
Because that's been like, you know, like you probably when we got hitched, you didn't see a lot of the things like, and I think a lot of the stuff came out after we got married. Like it really, I don't know. It seems like everything got really crazy after we got married. But what do you think?
well, I mean, when you're at home, you can finally be yourself, and we didn't live together until after we were married, so you were never home with me.
Yeah. So it's like when you're married, then you just start seeing everything that everybody can just have like kind of walls and like kind of things that just cover up, you know. But it really did feel like, I don't know, it felt like a darkness came over me after we got married, you know, like pretty quickly. I can remember within the month, you know, it was weird, like, and I like things got really bad quick, and I don't know if it's just spiritual warfare or what. But I don't even like reliving that kind of stuff. But maybe going through it, it's almost I want to let it just go to waste. I have gone through that stuff and it just be almost a waste, and not talk about it and not share with it because other people might be going through stuff. Who knows? You know.
I feel like I've talked to a lot of people about. Well, you've let me talk to other people about you, and it's already helped other people. They're like, oh, Brandon Fogel, he's such a nice guy. Seems like he has it all together. I'm like, well,
Did anyone ever actually say that, or do you think they just?
What?
It seemed like I had it all together.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Everybody does.
They have it all together, or they just thought
They think you do. You're such a nice and easygoing guy. I said he's not easygoing. He's pretty anxious and depressed guy. But nobody sees that except me at home.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was really bad, you know? Like, I think that's where I think it is a lot of just the chemical, like, because it's almost like you need like that. Something's like messed up in the mind, you know? Like, and like there's chemicals that need rewiring before. I mean, I don't know. There's the spiritual component, but then there's just the biological component. It feels like, and I think I needed that biological, or you know what I mean, like just like things that just were just not firing right in my head, in my brain, were just not going in the right spots. They were. I always think of it like just in the way that I think, and way that I get really screwed up and messed up is like, I feel like my head is like inflamed. I don't know what it means. Like, and it's just like full of like blood, and I can't think or see straight, and I can't rationalize and reason.
It's called an anxiety attack, probably.
But that's not what I'm I don't.
You mean, is it like all the time? Like, well, back when it was bad, all the time like that?
No, and I'm talking about just in general, as in like things that I cannot, there's something that is just accused in me and making me feel like crap, and I can't see that where I shouldn't feel that way. I can't see, like there's a bridge over here and here, and you're saying that everything's okay, but to me, like, there's nothing, like, there's a chasm and it's not lining up. There's something hidden, and I feel like I've done something or I'm doing something wrong, and I can't see where you're saying that everything's okay. I don't know. I know that doesn't make sense, but
That
like,
doesn't make sense. Well, we kind of figured out you have scrupulosity, which is moral OCD. You always think you're in trouble. You think God's mad at you, but you know the Bible more than anyone I know, and you know that's not true in your logical part of your brain. And you keep wanting me to help you and tell you, so I have to tell you over and over, but I can see you trying to grasp it, that you're, I don't know, whatever part in your brain is not letting you grasp it.
but like, and really, it's not been like that lately. I don't even.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of like that. You know, I always feel like my mind always selects one thing, and all it needs is one thing to make me feel like crap.
Mhm.
And it's like my mind is on a constant radar. It's detection, as in zooming across the everything, the corridors of my mind, and just trying to find something to detect. And once it finds one thing, that's all it needs, and it just wants to just obsess over that one thing over and over. And as soon as I could get past that and like move on past that, it would just like do a whole nother sweep of my mind to find whatever. And it's always in that mode of like looking for something. And
And that's where it is kind of both. It's OCD. It's obsessive compulsive disorder. It's a disorder. But who's in charge of disorder? It's the devil. And you know you're forgiven. You move past things, but he won't let you. And he makes you feel worthless, and that's what he wants.
I know. And right now it's like it's the one thing that we've talked about, and I even shared with my mom yesterday that like that the devil just accuses me over and over, and I feel like kind of weird even saying it, like whether I'll let this go out or not, but like I feel guilty when I read the Bible. I feel like I'm sinning when I read the Bible, and that in itself might sound completely insane to anyone that hears that, and it's because of this thing that I uttered years and years ago where I was in shambles, and I was going through hell, and I in a moment of desperation, because the devil had because my mind my mind takes the words of Jesus so seriously when he says like almost your yes and your no, that if you say something, you are taking it upon you as like that is your word, and you cannot alter or break your word, almost like an oath. And so I don't know. I
know the circumstances if you want me to tell it.
No, but it was even past that. It was way back when. It was. I don't even relive this, but it was like it's so freaking messed up, because it's like the devil takes the things that are so good and pure and twists the hell out of them, and that's what drives me so crazy. And that's why you see me get so riled up that I start spitting everything, because I can't see or think straight. But he takes I remember it all started. And there's millions of other things that would accuse me or whatever, but this is one thing that has just driven me insane. Years and years ago, when we were at a revival, where it was at like a church event, and I was saying I don't even remember, and I almost shouldn't even open up that can of worms and try and relive it, but I was almost saying to God, yes, to something, and I was in a moment of purity, like I'm giving myself to you, and I'm going to cut this thing off in my life, and I'm saying yes. Well, my twisted and perverted mind took that and made that an oath. I've made an oath, and I've taken that upon me by just saying the word yes. Fast forward years and years later, I'll give my version. You can then tell what you think. Fast forward years and years later, where we were upstairs in our house, and just I'm getting beat over the head with this, and just being miserable over something that I had said years prior. And then again, I was just completely broken. And I said, I wanted to say the most outlandish, crazy thing ever and take an oath upon it. But I was not meaning an oath. I was not meaning to take an oath or promise or whatever have you. And I said, and I was really careful with what I was doing, but I wanted to almost say like, oh, I take an oath, and I even did like the quotation marks. And to me, quotation marks means you're saying something that's wrong and you don't mean it. And I wanted to absolutely make it clear that I'm not really taking an oath. But I said, I wanted to almost say like, I take an oath that I won't be able to breathe anymore. But I said like, I take an oath that I won't read the Bible anymore. And I did like quotes, or I said something like that. And then since then, Satan has accused me that whenever I read the Bible or whenever I want to read the Bible and desire it, I am sinning. And I don't know. That's my version of it. That's
right. It was in complete sarcasm, and you were just hurting, and you just wanted to show that the stupidest, outlandish thing would still bind you in your mind.
But yeah, I was not meaning it as like an actual, like, I didn't even think that was a real thing.
It was.
Yeah. And that's the turmoil of my mind that has been in lately. It's been over this specific event, this specific circumstance or whatever, this thing that has been thrust upon me, that I maybe thrust upon myself and so whenever I see the word vow, oath or anything in the Bible, it like triggers me. I get triggered because it reminds me and causes me to remember, and instantly makes me feel guilty and destroyed and hurt, because I am reminded of this event, of this thing that I said and did not mean whatsoever. But like, and no matter how much I want to get past it, it's like, because it makes me think of the verse, like, because it says in the Bible, let your words, Solomon wrote it in Ecclesiastes, like, don't be hasty in uttering a vow or an oath. And I was stupid and I did that, but it's like, I know that it's wrong. I know that it's a fictional thing, and I believe it is a fictional thing, but it does not change the fact that Satan beats the hell out of my head over and just smashes my head in and makes me feel like this. It doesn't change the fact of that. I mean, what do you think? I mean,
I bet there's a lot of people out there who feel something similar, or have, yours is geared more toward moral things, but other people are just so plagued in their mind by so many different things. They probably identify with you a lot right now. Like, it sounds, just even when you say that, it sounds.
Does it sound? What does it sound like to you?
Because it sounds insane, and it doesn't make.
Does
any
it really
sense.
sound insane? Because that's the breach. That's the bridge that it's like a structure on one side and a structure on the other, or however, or land on the one side, land on the other, and there's this bridge in between that people say that there's this bridge that is actually there, that what you're saying is insane. I cannot see the bridge. I cannot see the connector that makes it insane. There's something blocking my mind that I cannot see it.
Because that's just the whatever messed up part of your brain that is not logical. You know, I see things logically and I can see clearly. I don't have that. It's not an oath. It's not, God knows your heart. He knows what you were feeling in that moment. And then years ago, He knows. It's not like you can hide anything from him.
And I know it's crazy. And I was just wanted to make it absolutely clear when I did it. And I did not. And I said the most crazy thing imaginable so that it would be like that. It would have been like, is in the same level as I take an oath not to breathe anymore, or I take an oath to whatever. But then it doesn't change the fact that it drives me insane.
Well, and that's just right where the devil wants you. Like, he wants to make you feel ineffective, and he wants you to drive you away from God.
And this is what it is. It is making me paralyzed. It makes me not able to do the things that I want to do. It makes me just completely cower and just completely lose hope or anything for that, you know? And so this is like almost like the counter of what I would want to, like, because what this episode was going to be about, and what it is about peace. So it's like, how can I share this stuff and seem like I'm so off my rocker, seem like I am such an insane individual? And how can because I live in the world, like right now, I feel like even maybe it's safe for me to do this because I am do as I say, not as I do. Because if you saw how I do, it would not be beneficial to you. It would just completely confuse you and make you say, like, man, like, he is not got to get. Why should I take anything he says seriously? So it's like, almost this whole doing this morning coffee and Bible is just a way just to show, like, I want to explain and talk about Jesus, tell about the Bible, give people hope and inspiration. But it's like, I'm such a broken individual. How would I ever even make it?
Because that's the people who God uses. I think whenever I listen to the ones where you do talk about your struggles, I identify more with it. I don't want to talk to someone who knows who thinks have their life all together. I want someone who's like me.
But you are not like me at all.
I have different things that I struggle with. Anybody can identify more with you the thing is, most people, if they would just struggle with that, they would just be like, this God thing is not worth it for me. You're still crawling and striving and wanting God in spite of all this pain. You could just turn your back on it, but you can't. You do have peace really in the back of your mind knowing He's there for me. I'm a Christian. I am saved.
It's not a matter, like, for me, it's not a matter of like, I know that, but it's like I just want to be with them now because it's like, it's so tough now, and I just want to get, I want to be with Jesus, it's like, and I'm very open about that with you, at least maybe like, you know what I mean? I want to, because just being on this side of the veil, it's extremely tough. It's extremely tough,
Well, it's extremely tough for a lot of people in a lot of different ways. And yours is mental. It's with you a lot. And I kind of always think of you like Paul, like he had a thorn in his side or whatever. I don't even know what it is, but something he struggled with, but he kept on striving. That's you. And he did a lot of good, and you can do a lot of good. You already have.
Yeah, I mean, it's causing me to really rethink a lot of things, And I mean, maybe this has been on my mind lately, and I really, really questioned myself and doubted if I would ever share it. I've shared it with some people. I've shared it with, my pastor. I've shared it with Jessi, and I've shared it with my mom last night. I shared it with her, and now it's out there for anyone that would see it, So it's like, you see the morning coffee and Bible guy, throw that in my face. He can't even read the Bible, whatever, That's how I feel, I feel like if even saying that, people, I feel like trolls would come out of under the bridges and start doing that, But whatever, you can throw the Bible in my face. I'll be glad to receive it, I love the Bible. That's what is so painful. That is what just crushes my heart and my soul, is because I love the Bible so much. I want to just inhale the Bible. I want to shoot it into my veins. But
then do it and laugh in the devil's face, because it's not a thing. It's not anything what you did out of this painful, sarcastic remark. You do not mean. And it. It's just live it. You just take in as much as you can and laugh in his face.
And I've said,
go ahead.
And I've said over and over to the devil, like I've said, like I take an oath that I will read the Bible, and it's like, and then he just throws in my face, well, you took the other one first. You took the other one first, so you can't do that, And it's like, it's the same way. Like, I always just think about, like, how does anyone even go on TV and pretend to marry someone and take their vows in front of someone? That's the accusation that my mind would feel like, if it utters out of my mouth, I've said it, my word is spoken, I cannot break it. And then, but it's like almost even it's like almost handcuffs to be thrown on me as in takes an actual oath. I don't know. It's so twisted how this all even came about. And like, because it all started off at that church event, we went with your parents, and I was like in a moment of like giving myself to the Lord. And I said, yes, Lord. And I think the only word I was saying was yes, but in my mind, I was saying something else. And then, so the devil came and he just said, you've said yes to this. Now I'm going to hold you to this. And he just piles it up, throws more and more stuff on there. You took an oath by just saying yes. And always, it destroys me, because I just think there's so many places in the Bible talks about an oath or a vow or whatever. And then I think of Jephthah, he said he took an oath, a rash oath that he would sacrifice whatever came out of his house. And then there's debate whether, because his daughter came out of her house when he came back from battle, and then he sacrificed her, and whether that meant he literally killed her and sacrificed her, or she just did not marry. That's the debate. But I've even heard somebody I very much respect, and I'm always hesitant to say people's actual names on this, but it was a professor of mine that I really respect. And I remember him saying that, like, it was against that. Like, he, like, almost that Jephthah was doing something wrong by taking that oath, but to follow through with it was even more wrong. I don't know. And I might be butchering that because that was years ago, but like that if he did actually sacrifice his daughter who came running out of her house when she was wanting to celebrate with him because he came back from battle, but he took that rash oath. He said, I'll sacrifice, Lord, whatever comes out of my house, I will sacrifice. Why he took that in the first place. But these are the types of things, because I love reading the Bible. I love the stories, the true historical accounts of the Bible, what it gives. And I love it so much that Satan he undercut me. You know, who would have thought that Satan would undercut me?
I know,
you know?
that's the whole key. Like, why are you surprised? He's the father of lies and doubt, and like that is the stamp of what you're saying right now. Like, why are you even entertaining thoughts like that when you know that's him?
Because
those thoughts are not of God.
I do know that's him, but it doesn't. It's like someone like has like an air horn and just blowing it in my ear. And no matter how much I know that air horn is not real, I know it's still blaring in my ear and I can't think straight. It doesn't stop, you know? And no matter how much I don't want to, that I can overthink it. I can overcome it. I don't, it doesn't stop the megaphone being shouted in my face, you know? And I think some people, depending on their chemical makeup and also that in itself, like just people that struggle with depression or anything like that, like there could be instances where there is a demon there, you know, like where we think of it as someone has schizophrenia or someone has whatever kind of disease. In the New Testament, almost like those kind of characteristics were just told to be a demon, that was what we called, as in this, we have a better understanding, a scientific explanation for what it is. In their terminology, it's a demon. And it's like, when's it not a demon? When is it a demon, kind of thing? And it's like, or is it sometimes both? Or I don't know. I'm all over the place. You think it's one or the other, or you think it's sometimes?
I think I'm not saying a Christian like you can be possessed by a devil. I don't know the different degrees of that or whatever, but you can be tortured from the outside by a demon.
Yeah.
Not like it's.
To me, I wouldn't say I'm possessed by the devil. I would make that kind of distinction that a Christian can't be possessed by the devil.
But the devil's main job is to hurt God. How does he hurt God? He hurts the saints, and that's Christians. So why are we surprised? Why not you? You know?
Yeah. Well, okay. So today I wanted to talk about, and this is just as you can see, I wanted to talk about having calm within the chaos, which is peace. I'm showing you a lot of chaos. You're seeing a lot of chaos out there, and how I feel, and maybe some of you all can relate to that. I don't know, but
I think it's important to have somebody to talk to about it. Like you have me, you know, and like don't just hold it in and just think, anybody out there, hold it in and think these things that are not true. Because you feel how you feel very strongly, even though for me on the outside, I'm like, that's not true at all. It's so obvious. And I get mad at you sometimes because I'm like, why can't you see this? You're a smart guy. But talk to someone who is like anchored in reality.
But know? like I told you, like we when I talk to people, the people I've talked to, you feel like they don't really care. That's the perception I get, and I understand that, because if I'm on the other side of the fence, I got my own issues, I got my own problems. It's tough, and so that's why it's always been tough for me, because it's like if I share with someone, do they really get me? Do they really understand? And I'm probably doing a terrible job of explaining it, and that's why I've always struggled with accountability partners, having an accountability partner, because if you're just sharing someone like the struggles that you're going with and you don't get that reciprocation from them, all you do is feel like a piece of shit, you know, a piece of crap, you know, or whatever, a piece of crap. You know what I mean? Like that's because I've had that where and it was probably me not like maybe having that established relationship with someone and going into it as in like almost like I felt like I was just telling them just to kind of get it off my chest, as opposed to
them telling you something as well.
Yeah, I guess, but I
think, like you said, you do project on people what you think. Everybody does that. We fortune tell. We think we know what they're thinking. Like it's probably not even true what you're thinking. You don't want to tell some random person, but yeah, you have to have a relationship with them and be safe enough with them, you know.
But like when I have told about like even what we talked about, like this, when I've shared it with people, you know, like they don't get it, or you know what I mean? Like it's like people don't get it. People like, and like I would probably maybe it's just this imperfect existence that we have with one another where I don't know. I think I need a lot of help,
Well, we all do.
And maybe that's why people pay a therapist. You know, maybe that's why the people pay a therapist. Other people, I don't know.
Like people do care.
I don't know. Might scratch that part. You know, that's just either way. So I'll try to tidy this up, bring it into like some type of peace and thing. I'm gonna save that as the deer pants for the water. You know, that's like one of my favorite verses. Like I don't want to waste it on something like this. You know,
This is perfect for it though.
it's one of my favorite verses. You know, like
This is perfect for it. You just said you basically did.
because when I might as well. Whenever I talk about like my favorite verse in the Bible, like Psalm 42:1, and it talks about as the deer pants for the water, so pants my soul for you, O God. That is one of the most. That's the biggest thing. But it's like it's almost like it almost gets sliced and diced in front of me. Almost that pretty little deer gets sliced and diced in front of me when I think about like I can't pursue and chase after God because I felt the most pursuing and chasing after God with the Bible. When I got to read the Bible, when I got to just absorb and consume and saturate myself inside the Bible, and I feel like I can't do that, you know? That's why it's so...
There's just so much injustice in this world, and this is one of them. Just hearing you say that is just so
It's
sad.
messed up. It's twisted.
It is
I know.
messed up.
It's twisted.
And I'm sorry you have to go through that. I want you to just don't worry about it.
I know. But I'm gonna read it all to y'all. You know, that's why like it so you all can know what's happening in my head for future videos. You know, whenever I would read the Bible, I almost have to struggle through it. You know, and because I have that voice in my head, you know, the twist up person that I am, or you know, whatever. You know, just imagine there's just forces around us. There's these spiritual forces, you know, and like. Is it really whispering into my mind and just like accusing me and making me feel like crap? Or is it all natural and materialistic?
I think it's both. You know, we got to get. I remember at that church that I worked at, that school, we were in the pastor's office, and that picture of the lighthouse with like the waves crashing all around it, and like I think that day you're going through something too, and it's like that is you. You know, like. Just because the waves are crashing, you are safe in God and you're secure. He knows what you're going through.
Oh yeah. So it's like no matter what, like the chaos happening around us, he knows and he understands. He
knows your heart. Doesn't matter what sick things are bouncing around in your head or whatever flies out of your mouth. Like he knows. Like you don't.
But it's so tough. It's like I feel like the most disconnected with God and not close to him when I pray to him. That itself could be a video that just talking about prayer. But me personally, when I pray to God, I feel even more removed and more disconnected from him when I'm consciously like, as in get on my knees or on my face and trying to pray to him. I do not feel like I connect with him at all. And I feel like it gets even louder as opposed to when I'm just in my day-to-day walking through life and just talking to him. I feel closer to him as opposed to when I want to like because it is like just as a form, just like to get on your knees, get on your face, you know. But it's like in that when I'm in that moment, I feel not close to him. I feel like even more like the megaphone gets even louder that I cannot see him.
It's just
I don't know.
So sad. No, I get it. It's just you have more faith than any of us. We'd be like, forget praying, forget the Bible. It's hard to read anyway, and most of us struggle to want to read the Bible. I'm about so far behind.
But that's like why over like the last couple of years I switched to audio, listening to the Bible, because that's not reading the Bible. That's not reading the Bible. It's I know it's so freaking twisted. It's messed up. This is raw. I know. You always. I think I just do that just to bring some sanity to my mind, bring something like it's not feel like a loser. A loser.
Well, that's what he wants you to feel like.
I know.
I don't even want you to. I know you need to let it out and voice it, but it's like, don't give him the satisfaction.
I know. I know that, and that's the struggle I have. That I don't want to be where I'm saying these things, because what you start saying is what you start almost believing. I'm trained in my mind, but it's so hard. It's hard not to, you know, to say.
So many times throughout our life, you said, "But I feel," I'm like. Okay, it must be weird to know the truth and what's right, but feel physically that something is wrong when it is not. I tell you all the time, nothing is wrong. There's nothing to do.
I know. All right, so I'm gonna read a couple verses just so I give you a little bit about this. Like, so I know this is different, but like this is kind of sharing my struggles, sharing kind of what we've gone through. And I know it probably sounds insane to anybody that watches this. I know it sounds insane and crazy, A loco man is loco.
But it doesn't actually.
What?
People understand. Really?
Like, maybe they do. Maybe you do understand me. Maybe you all get me. And I would never wish any of this stuff that I've gone through on somebody ever, and I feel so it's like, I hope you don't understand in that sense, but it's like, I know there are other people have other things that they're struggling with, other things that might even maybe make what I am going through in comparison nothing. Who knows, So it's everybody, but you only have what's in front of you. You only have your experience and your emotions, what you feel about the things you're going through. So
if anything, you especially, what struggle is, and to keep, no matter what, just keep striving towards God, because that's really the only thing that can bring you peace. Even if you feel like crap sometimes, He's the only thing that can bring you peace. Nothing else.
I know. Yeah. It's like that. That's why it's like it's one thing to just talk about things in life in general and things about everything, but it's like when you start talking about the Bible and Christianity, and it's like, it's almost tougher. That's why it's like, I've always thought about somebody being a pastor, somebody being a preacher, because you have to almost live an above and beyond life than everyone else, because everyone's going through that struggle, but everybody's looking to you, and to be able to get up there on Sunday morning, no matter whatever you're feeling and going through, and to put on it's the best, for everyone, so that everybody gets that good vibe of, hey, I want to become a Christian, because I'm seeing someone. That's like why I almost did not want this to ever be a Bible study or a sermon whatsoever, because I don't portray that at all, and it's like, if I even did that, but I love talking about this stuff, and I want to be of some use in God's hands to share with people, Christ in some form. I almost see this as I am trying to put it out there so that maybe it could somehow open the conversation for anyone else that runs across it, that they could, as in opening up the conversation to talk with someone, and it be helpful to them. And then go to the real people, the real deal people that are going to bring you help. I'm just the spur in your butt.
You got it backwards. Like, I want a pastor or whoever gets up there on Sunday to tell me they're not perfect and they're struggling with stuff, and this is how to do it. And that's kind of what you're doing too. So
I'm trying. All right. So I'm going to read a couple.
Yeah, you read it.
I'm going to read it.
Read it harder.
I'm going to read it so hard. All right. I'm going to read it. I'm in Satan's face. That's the thing. Satan, he comes to me as an angel of light. He comes as to be the face of my Father in heaven. And he tries to be that, and it's like, I got to say, no, you are not my Father. You are not God. You don't even try to impersonate him. You are the evil one. And that's the difference. It's like, I want to be able to distinguish I need to be able to distinguish the voice of my Father in heaven as opposed to the voice of the enemy, and that's what it's so tough.
Well, like I said, you can distinguish it. You might need my help to bounce it off me or something, but you still feel like it. You know the difference, but you still feel like it, So it feels real because you feel it.
I know.
But as far as I remember, one of my friends' sisters, she said, you Christians, you just use God as a crutch. And I said, yes, exactly. Can you imagine going through this life with all these things without him?
Uh-huh. And she was meaning it in a bad way?
Yeah. And I was like, absolutely. Are you kidding me? I can't do this. I can't get around without him. He's absolutely my crutch.
All right. Psalm 42:1. This is my favorite verse in the Bible, and I'm going to read it. It says, as the deer pants for the water brooks, so pants my soul for you, O God. And that's it. That's it. I always love that verse because it describes my heart, and it probably describes your heart out there as well. that as the deer, you think of this deer that just like is so thirsty, he wants this so much, and that's all he can think about, and he's chasing after it. And I just always picture myself like I want to be the hunter and go after, like I am chasing after God, and these roadblocks get just thrown in my face, and these things that just like things that just trip me up and make me what I feel like useless for the kingdom, but
It's totally the opposite. Your faith is so much stronger than the rest of us. We don't have to fight and scratch to get to God. We can barely get us off our butts when you're you want him so much just because you feel like you're being pulled back. God uses imperfect people, not the perfect people.
All right. So I had to give that to you. Psalm 42:1, Jessi pulled it out of me, even though I was kind of going to back out of that because because that is such a huge verse in my life and what I love. All right. So I'm going to start pulling up some, I'm going to give you some text. I'm going to give you some text and I'm going to read it. I'm not going to have Jessi read it. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it in your face, Satan.
Well, maybe that's something you can do when you have these thoughts. The Lord rebuke those thoughts, which are from the devil. If they're the lies.
The Lord rebuke you. And it's like, I need to do that. I need to feel that,
Well, but that's the thing. You might not feel it. Doesn't mean it's.
I know. That's the tough part. It's like, I want to feel it instead of just saying it, because you can say it over and over like a mantra, but it's like until you like what you feel is like what's in your blood, and it's like it's almost more experiential reality, but I know it's not at the same time. It's not what's real, but it's like what you feel is what feels like it's real. I don't know, like because you can think all you want about something, but it's like how you feel. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, I do, but it's like I've also in like researching all this stuff for you. It's like gun to your head. Like you have to give me an answer if it's true or not.
I know that
you can say what's true.
All right, so like that's what I need to start thinking about. Like, gun to my head, what I think.
Can you read the Bible? Of course I can.
But that's like I immediately like my tongue gets grabbed, and it's like in my heart, even though I feel and want to say it and believe it, it doesn't change, and I immediately do feel like
well
that I maybe it's like
boom,
boom, boom, it's like even like I would hesitate.
Well, you can hesitate, but then eventually you're going to get to an answer, and you have to go with that answer.
That's the struggle. That's the struggle.
It's not supposed to be easy.
I know it's the thing. It's like I almost want to say I'm not a decisive person, but then I don't want to even vocalize that I'm not a decisive person. I want to be a decisive person.
Well, it doesn't matter what you say. It's what your behavior, what you do. Say whatever you want. I
know. I need to say what I want, not just mean what I say. Say what I want. No, I'm just saying that people say what you mean and mean what you say. And that is a cool saying. That is a cool thing to say. All right, it'll take me a year. I need somebody else finding things in the Bible and then giving it to me, because it takes me. I need to stop talking, because like if I keep talking, I'll just keep talking and I don't get anywhere. I just need to read these verses. All right, so the rest of this episode is going to be giving you text, the text that I love, and I know you love it as well. So just receive it as the Word of God. I'm reading from the Bible. Okay. Philippians 4:6-7. It says, "Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus." We'll maybe end on that. We were supposed to begin on that. We're going to end on it. The story of Jesus in the storm. We're going to end with it, end on the highest note. This is Galatians 5:22-23. Very well-known passage. It talks about the fruit of the Spirit. "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such there is no law." So one of the fruits of the Spirit working within you, it starts generating and creating peace. I think I've become more of a peaceful person, Well, I don't know. What do you think? Maybe not.
Peaceful meaning?
I don't know.
Like nice?
I think I have more peace in my heart than I did for the longest period of time.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Oh, you mean, what do you think?
Since I've not.
You thinking peace isn't nice?
No.
Like my peacemaker? I got my peacemaker, No, that's not at all in what we're talking about. But maybe it is.
But like.
What?
Besides this little hiccup, you have been for a long time more even keeled, and you have been peaceful. Is that what you mean? Because that's what I mean.
I just as a overall, like, I think I have general peace because, like, peace in Christ, like ultimate peace I have, but it's like I have these hiccups, that make me almost unfruitful, unprofitable for the kingdom, or it feels like it,
Brandon, it's what you feel like, but the hiccups is what makes you a real person to other people. And that's why we won't even listen to you. I don't want to listen to you if you have it all together. Like these words need to help me in whatever I'm going through.
Okay. All right. This is John 14:27. Jesus says to his apostles, he says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives do I give to you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid."
That's awesome.
And then a couple more.
It's nice to be reminded of that. He's telling us to not be afraid, and we have his peace. It's there for us.
And this is Isaiah 26:3. "You will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts in you." All right. 2 more verses. We're going to read Colossians 3:15, and then we'll end it on Mark, the story about Jesus in the storm. All right. Colossians 3:15. It says, "And let the peace of God rule in your hearts, to which also you were called in one body, and be thankful." All right, we're going to read one more verse, and this is the story, and it's recorded in, I believe, in all 3 synoptic gospels. That's Matthew, Mark, and Luke. I don't remember if it's in John or not, but this is the version of it from Mark's account. Mark 4:35 through 41. I'm going to read you the whole story right here. "On the same day, when evening had come, he said to them, 'Let us cross over to the other side.' Now when they had left the multitude, they took him along in the boat as he was, and other little boats were also with him. And a great windstorm arose, and the waves beat into the boat so that it was already filling. But he was in the stern, asleep on a pillow. And they awoke him and said to him, 'Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?' Then he arose and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, 'Peace, be still.' And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. But he said to them, 'Why are you so fearful? How is it that you have no faith?' And they feared exceedingly and said to one another, 'Who can this be, that even the wind and the sea obey him?'" I love that verse.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
He's not bothered.
Okay. All right. So we're going to close it out. I shared some struggles, shared some problems that I go through, and I hope it can be of benefit to you. I hope you can take something away. I'm very thankful Jessi was here to be a part of it. I was getting ready to do this, and I was just really, really struggling, and I said, "Can you come down here and be with me during this?" She didn't. I didn't think she knew I was going to have her actually hop on, and so you all could hear her. But I'm very thankful for her. I'm always terrible at saying that. I'm thankful. It's like, because I'm not thankful for you. I'm thankful for you for me. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Because I always say, like, I'm so thankful for you, but I'm not.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
You're not thinking right.
I don't think right. Maybe things will start going upwards, Does that make sense at all?
You're thankful
For
me.
I'm thankful for you.
For me being here.
Yeah,
Obviously, it's for you.
Okay. All right. Disregard that whole remark. Okay. Jessi, I'm thankful that you were here. Thank you, Jessi. I love you.
Love you.
I love you. Okay. All right. So I hope you all can take something away from this. I hope it can be of value and benefit to you, that if Satan comes to you and he wants to throw something in your face, you be louder and louder back at him and tell him that Jesus says so. You send Satan to your advocate. Jesus is our advocate. So don't try to argue with that lawyer, Satan, because he is an ancient attorney, and he knows how to just trip us up, because he's well seasoned in this affair. He knows how to use the Bible against us and to accuse us in every way whatsoever. But when he came to Jesus, he accused Jesus, and he used the Bible to do it. And Jesus said the Bible right back at him and said it in the right context. So Satan will twist the scriptures. So get used to that. So I hope that makes sense. All right. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for being a part of this, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Thanks, honey.
Good job.
Love you.
Love you.
All right.
So we hold on and enjoy the ride. After all the ups and downs, this is our time. Enjoy the ride. Can you see?
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so you never miss an episode. Your support means the world to me, and it helps keep the content coming. Until next time, stay blessed and keep shining.